My name is Sienna Blake. I am 26 years old. I live in Los Angeles. My house is very big. It is white and gray. Everything looks clean and cold. I was a makeup artist before. I worked with famous people. I loved my job, but I stopped 3 years ago. I married Cole. Cole is my husband. He is 35 years old. He works in politics. He helps important people win elections. His job is very important. I wanted to support Cole, so I stayed home. I cooked for him. I cleaned the house. I made everything perfect. Cole said I was his perfect wife. Cole bought me flowers every week. He wrote me love notes. He left them on my pillow. He took photos of me. I cooked dinner. He took a photo. I read a book. He took another photo. He said I looked beautiful. He said I was the best thing in his life. I felt so happy. I felt so lucky. Other women wanted a husband like Cole, but Cole chose me. He loved me. I was sure of it. One day, Cole went to New York. He had a big meeting. I stayed home alone. I cleaned his office. I wanted to surprise him. I opened his desk drawer. I looked for some papers. Then I saw something strange. There was a second phone. It was not Cole's usual phone. This phone was small and black. I picked it up. The screen turned on. I saw an Instagram account. The name was @ThePerfectWife. The account had 2 million followers. 2 million people followed this account. My hands started to shake. Why did Cole have this phone? Why did he hide it from me? I looked at the posts. There were many photos. The photos showed a woman. She cooked food. She cleaned the house. She smiled at the camera. The woman looked like me, but something felt wrong. I looked closer. The woman wore a blue dress. I never owned a blue dress. In another photo, the woman had long hair. My hair was shorter. I touched my neck. I have a small mole on my neck. The woman in the photos did not have it. I scrolled down. There were more photos, more videos. The account taught other women. It said, be a good wife. It said, make your husband happy. It said, serve him with love. Hundreds of women wrote comments. They said, you are so perfect. They said, I want to be like you. They bought online courses. The courses cost $1,000 each. My head felt dizzy. I sat down on the floor. I looked at the phone again. That face, those eyes, that smile. It looked exactly like me, but it was not me. I tried to remember. Did I wear that dress? Did I cook that meal? Did I say those words? I could not remember. Nothing looked familiar. Fear filled my chest. I could not breathe. Who was this woman? Why did she look like me? Why did Cole hide this account from me? I heard a car outside. Cole was home. I put the phone back quickly. I closed the drawer. I stood up. My legs felt weak. Cole walked into the house. He smiled at me. He kissed my cheek. He said, "Hi, darling. I missed you." I smiled back. But inside, I felt cold. Nothing felt real anymore. I could not sleep that night. I thought about the phone. I thought about those photos. My mind would not stop. The next morning, Cole left for work. I waited 5 minutes. Then I went to his office. I took the phone again. I sat down and looked at every post. The account posted new content every day, sometimes 3 times a day. I checked the phone every hour. I needed to understand what was happening. Cole came home that evening. He smiled. He kissed me. He brought me roses, red roses, my favorite color. He said, "How was your day, darling?" I said, "It was good." "And yours?" He talked about his work. He said, "I have a new client, a congressman. He wants to win the next election. This campaign is very important." He looked at me. His eyes were bright. He said, "Your image will help me. People love you. They trust you. You are perfect." I felt sick. I said, "That sounds great." For 3 days, I watched the account. I learned many things. The account was not just for fun. It was a business. A big business. Women paid $1,000 for online courses. The courses taught them to be perfect wives. Thousands of women bought them. Cole made millions of dollars. But there was more. I read the captions carefully. The posts talked about politics. They said, "Good wives support strong leaders." They said, "Vote for men who protect families." Cole used the account to change people's minds. He helped his political clients win elections. The account was his tool, his weapon. I felt angry. I felt scared. But I said nothing to Cole. 2 weeks later, Cole invited me to a gala. Rich people went to these events. Politicians went too. Cole wanted me to look perfect. I wore a long black dress. I did my makeup. I looked beautiful. But I felt empty inside. We arrived at the hotel. The room was full of people. They drank wine. They laughed loudly. Music played in the background. Cole left me alone. He went to talk to important men. I stood near the window. I held a glass of water. Then I saw her. A young girl stood across the room. She looked about 20 years old. She had long brown hair. She wore red lipstick, the same shade I always wore. She moved her hands when she talked. She tilted her head the same way I did. She smiled the same smile. My heart stopped. I walked closer to her. A man introduced us. He said, "Sienna, this is Julianne. Julianne, meet Sienna Blake." Julianne smiled at me. She said, "Nice to meet you." I stared at her face, her eyebrows, her nose, her smile. Everything looked like me, but younger, fresher. She said, "No, I don't think so." But her laugh sounded like my laugh. Her voice had the same tone. I felt cold all over. I walked away quickly. I found a bathroom. I locked the door. I looked in the mirror, then I understood everything. The strange photos on the account, the photos where I looked different, those photos were not me. Those photos were Julianne. Someone changed her face. They made her look exactly like me. I remembered reading about this deep fake technology. Computers can change faces in photos and videos. They can make one person look like another person. Cole used this technology. He used Julianne. He made her look like me. Then he posted her photos on the account. Why? Because I was not enough. I could not be online all the time. I could not make new content every day. So Cole found someone else, someone who could replace me. My hands shook. I felt sick. I wanted to scream. I was just a face, a template. Cole could copy me. He could replace me anytime he wanted. There were probably more girls, more backups, all looking like me, all ready to take my place. I was not special. I was not loved. I was just useful. I opened the bathroom door. I walked back to the party. Cole stood with important men. He laughed. He looked so happy. I walked up to him. I put my hand on his arm. I smiled at everyone. But inside, I was breaking apart. 3 days later, Cole left for Chicago. He had meetings there. He would be gone for 2 days. I waited until his car left. Then I went to his office. I locked the door behind me. Cole had a safe in his office. It was behind a painting on the wall. I watched him open it once. I remembered the numbers. 4, 7, 2, 9. I moved the painting. I saw the safe. My hands shook. I entered the numbers. The safe opened. Inside, there were many papers. I pulled them all out. I sat on the floor. I started to read. The first document was our prenuptial agreement. We signed it 3 years ago. Cole gave it to me one day before our wedding. He said, "This is normal. All rich people sign this." I was so happy that day. I was going to marry Cole. I did not read the papers. I just signed them. Now I read every word. My stomach felt sick. The agreement said I could not talk about Cole. I could not talk about his work. I could not talk about our marriage. If I did, I owed him $5 million. But there was more. Much worse. The agreement said Cole owned my image. He owned my face. He owned my name. He could use my photos. He could use my voice. He could do anything with them. If I divorced him, I lost everything. The house, the money. But I also lost my own face, my own identity. I could not breathe. This was not a marriage contract. This was a prison. I kept reading. I found a folder. The title said, Project. The Ideal Candidate. I opened it. Inside were photos. So many photos. Dozens of young women. All looked similar. Brown hair, brown eyes, small nose, heart-shaped face. They all looked like me. Each photo had notes. Cole wrote them by hand. He wrote, "Too short," or "Wrong smile," or "Face too round." Then I found my photo. My name was circled in red. Next to it, Cole wrote, "Best face match, easily manipulated." Simple family background. Tears filled my eyes. I read the words again. Easily manipulated. I was not his wife. I was his choice, his selection, like someone picks a car or a dress. I kept reading. There were more notes. Cole wrote about our first meeting. He planned it. The coffee shop, the accidental bump, the spilled coffee. Everything was fake. He wrote, "Met subject at Spring Street Coffee." Script worked well. She believed the coincidence. I remembered that day. I dropped my bag. Cole helped me. He smiled. He bought me a new coffee. He said, I think fate brought us together. I believed him. I thought it was magic, but it was all a lie. A performance. I found more notes. Our second date, our third date, the proposal in the rain. Cole planned every moment. He wrote, proposed at Harbor Park. Rain created emotional effect. Subject cried, said yes immediately. I did cry that day. I was so happy. Cole went down on one knee. Rain fell on us. He said, Sienna, you are my everything. Marry me. I said yes. I thought my life was perfect. I thought I was the luckiest woman alive. But I was wrong. So wrong. Cole never loved me. He never wanted me. He wanted a face. A person he could control. Someone with no powerful family. No one to protect me. No one to ask questions. I was a role in his project. An actress in his show, and if I stopped performing, he could replace me. There were dozens of backups. Girls like Julianne. Girls waiting to take my place. I put all the papers back in the safe. I closed it. I moved the painting back. I walked to the bedroom. I sat on the bed. I looked around the house. The white walls, the gray furniture. Everything looked cold now, empty. This was not my home. This was my cage. Cole would come back tomorrow. He would smile. He would kiss me. He would bring me flowers. And I would have to smile back. I would have to pretend, because if I tried to leave, I would lose everything. Not just the money, not just the house. I would lose myself. My face, my name, my whole identity. Cole owned me. He owned all of me. I closed my eyes. But I could not sleep. I needed a plan. I needed to escape. But how? Cole came home the next evening. I waited for him in the living room. I sat on the white sofa. My hands were cold. He walked in. He smiled at me. He said, "Hi, darling. I missed you." His smile disappeared. He looked at me. He said, "What do you know?" I said, "I found the safe. I read the papers. I know about the project. I know about the other girls." Cole stared at me. Then he laughed. He laughed loudly. The sound was cold and cruel. He said, "So you finally figured it out. Good for you." He took off his jacket. He sat down in a chair. He looked relaxed. He was not scared at all. I said, "You lied to me. You never loved me. This marriage is fake." Cole smiled again. He said, "Of course it is fake. Did you really think I loved you?" His words cut into my heart, but I stayed strong. I said, "I want a divorce." Cole laughed again. He said, "A divorce? You cannot divorce me. Did you forget the contract?" I said, "That contract is wrong. No judge will accept it." Cole shook his head. He said, "You are so stupid, Sienna. I have the best lawyers. They wrote that contract. It is completely legal." He stood up. He walked closer to me. He said, "Let me explain something to you. You were a nobody, a low-level makeup artist. You could never afford this house. You could never afford this life." I felt tears in my eyes, but I did not cry. Cole continued. He said, "You are a company asset, Sienna, nothing more. And assets can be maintained. or they can be replaced. I said, I am not an asset. I am a person. Cole laughed. He said, Are you? Nobody knows you. They only know the perfect wife, that online character. That is what people love. Not you. He took out his phone. He showed me a photo. It was Julianne. But she looked different now. Her nose was smaller. Her lips were fuller. She looked exactly like me now. Cole said, Julianne had some small surgeries. Now she looks 95% like you, maybe even better. My heart stopped. I stared at the photo. Julianne was my copy. My replacement. Cole said, Here is what will happen. You will continue to play your role. You will smile. You will be perfect. You will do exactly what I say. I said, And if I refuse? Cole's eyes turned ice cold. He said, If you refuse, I will tell everyone you are crazy. I will say you are mentally unstable. I will put you in a hospital, a special hospital for sick people. I said, No one will believe you. Cole smiled. He said, Everyone will believe me. I have doctors who work for me. I have lawyers. I have power. You have nothing. He walked to the window. He said, And while you are locked up, Julianne will take your place. She will live in this house. She will use your name. She will be you. I felt so cold, so empty. Cole planned everything. He controlled everything. He said, So what will you choose? Will you behave, or will you lose everything? I looked at him. This man was a monster, a cold, cruel monster. But I said nothing. I just stared at him. Cole smiled. He said, Good. I knew you would understand. Now go make dinner. I am hungry. He walked away. He went to his office. The door closed. I sat alone in the living room. I looked around the beautiful house, the white walls, the expensive furniture. This was my prison, and Cole was my jailer. Millions of people followed the perfect wife online. They loved her. But none of them knew me, the real me, Sienna Blake. I was invisible. I was nobody. I was just a face that Cole owned. But somewhere deep inside, something changed. A small fire started to burn. Anger, pure anger. Cole thought he won. He thought I would obey him forever, but he was wrong. I would find a way. I had to. The next morning, I woke up early. I went to the kitchen. I made breakfast for Cole. Eggs and toast. His favorite. Cole came downstairs. He looked surprised. I smiled at him. I said, Good morning. I made you breakfast. He sat down. He ate his food. He watched me carefully. He said, You seem different today. I said, I thought about everything. You were right. I was stupid. I am sorry. Cole smiled. He seemed pleased. He said, Good girl. I knew you would understand. I smiled back. But inside, no fear. Just cold determination. For 2 weeks, I played the perfect wife. I cooked. I cleaned. I smiled. Cole believed I accepted my role. But secretly, I worked on my plan. I found my old phone. I kept it hidden in my makeup bag. When Cole left for work, I called my old friends, people from my makeup artist days. I called Maria first. She was a stylist. We worked together 5 years ago. She said, "Sienna, I missed you so much. Where have you been?" I said, "I need your help." "Far from my house." I told Maria everything. She looked shocked. She said, "Oh my God, that man is evil. What will you do?" I said, "I need proof. I need evidence. Can you help me?" Maria nodded. She said, "Yes, tell me what you need." I watched Cole carefully. I learned his patterns. He was smart, but he was also arrogant. He thought he controlled everything. He thought no one could stop him. That was his weakness, his overconfidence. One night, Cole forgot to lock his phone. I took it. I went to the bathroom. I copied all his messages. I sent them to my old phone. The messages shocked me. Cole talked to many girls, young girls. He promised them fame. He promised them money, but then he trapped them. He made them sign contracts. He controlled their lives. Julianne was one of them. I found her messages to Cole. She wrote, "Please let me go. I want to go home. I want to see my family." Cole wrote back, "You signed a contract. If you leave, you owe me $200,000. Your family will lose their house." Julianne was a victim too. Just like me, Cole blackmailed her. He forced her to look like me. He forced her to replace me online. My heart broke for her. She was only 20 years old. She was scared and alone. I saved all the messages. I saved all the photos. I had my evidence. Then I learned about Cole's big event, a fundraising party for his congressman client. The event would be huge. Rich people would come. Reporters would be there. Everything would be filmed live on the internet. Cole wanted me to attend. He said, "You will stand next to me. You will smile. You will look perfect." I said, "Of course, I will be ready." Cole smiled. He had no idea what I planned. I talked to Maria again. She knew a tech expert, someone who could help me. We created a plan, a simple plan. During the event, I would start a live stream, an accidental live stream, on Cole's secret phone, the Perfect Wife account. 2 million people would watch, and I would tell them everything. I would show them the truth, but I was terrified. If I did this, I lost everything: the house, the money, my career in Los Angeles. Cole had powerful friends. They would destroy me. I could choose safety. I could stay quiet. I could keep playing the role. I would have food. I would have a home. I would survive. Or I could choose truth. I could expose Cole. I could save Julianne and the other girls. But I would lose everything. I would be alone. I would be poor. Cole would attack me with everything he had. What should I do? Was truth worth the price? I sat in the bedroom. I looked in the mirror. I saw my face, the face Cole owned, the face he sold to millions of people. But behind that face was me, the real me, Sienna Blake, a woman with a voice, a woman with a soul. I made my choice. I would speak. I would tell the truth, even if it destroyed me. Some things are worth more than safety. Freedom is one of them. The event was in 3 days. I was ready. The night of the gala arrived. I got ready slowly. I looked at my makeup, all the brushes, all the colors. I used them for years. They made me beautiful. They made me perfect. But tonight, I put them away. I washed my face. I looked in the mirror. My skin was bare. My eyes looked tired. But my face was real. It was mine. Cole saw me. He looked angry. He said, "What are you doing? Put on your makeup." I said, "No, I am ready." He stared at me. But we were late. He had no time to argue. We arrived at the hotel. Hundreds of people filled the room. Reporters talked to guests. Everything was live on the internet. Cole walked to the stage. He started his speech. He talked about family values. He talked about tradition. He talked about strong marriages. He said, "My wife and I believe in supporting each other. We believe in love and commitment." People clapped. They smiled. They believed him. I walked to the front. I held Cole's secret phone. My hands shook. But I kept walking. I climbed onto the stage. Cole saw me. He looked confused. He said, "Sienna, what are you doing?" I did not answer. I opened the Perfect Wife account. I started a live stream. 2 million people watched. The number grew fast. I said, "My name is Sienna Blake. I need to tell you the truth." Cole tried to grab the phone, but I stepped back. Security guards stood nearby. They watched. They did nothing. I said, "This account is fake. The perfect wife does not exist. My husband created her. He used my face. But many photos are not me." I showed the screen. I played the video. He said, "You are a company asset, Sienna. Assets can be maintained or replaced." The room went silent. Everyone stared at the screen. I continued. I said, "My husband forced young girls to look like me. He used computer technology. He made fake photos and videos. He blackmailed these girls. He controlled them. I showed the messages. I showed the photos of Julianne. I showed everything." Cole's face turned white. He tried to speak, but no words came out. People started shouting. Cameras flashed. Reporters ran toward the stage. The congressman walked away quickly. His campaign ended that night. Police came. They asked many questions. They took Cole away. I lost the mansion. I lost the money. I lost everything Cole gave me. But I found something more important. I found myself. 6 months later, I opened a small studio. I taught makeup classes, but I taught something different. I taught women to be themselves, to be confident, to be real. My students came from everywhere. Some were young, some were old. They all wanted to learn. One day, Julianne came to my studio. She looked different. She looked like herself now. She smiled at me. She said, "Thank you for saving me." I hugged her. I said, "We saved each other." I was the backup for his dream, but now I am the leading lady of my own life. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this story. If you enjoyed this time together, please support the channel. Click like so I know you want more stories like this. Share the video with a friend who is learning English and help them relax and practice at the same time. And don't forget to subscribe to Kavico English Storytime and turn on the notification bell. Your support is small for you, but very big for this channel. It helps our little reading corner continue to grow.